Pokémon Colosseum. One of two Pokemon games that involve a main storyline, but includes the capturing of shadow Pokemon. In these games, you will go around the region known as the Ore region and capture these shadow Pokemon back from the bad guys, they Team Snag 'em in this game, or even in Pokemon XY God of Darkness, Team Cypher. Throughout the whole game, there's 48 shadow Pokemon available for capture, along with a couple of gift Pokemon, like your starters, Espeon and Umbreon. But we're not going to be talking about them or even the Plusle. Throughout the main story of the game, there are only 36 available Pokemon for capture. Talk about your limited options. Some of them are pretty good, and some of them not so much. And that's what we'll be talking about today. Welcome to the top 5 worst shadow Pokemon of Pokemon Colosseum. Number 5 on the list is the ground and flying type Pokemon Gligar. As you see on screen, its stats are not that bad actually. A defense of 105. That's great. It even has kinda average defenses in its HP and special defense. Not very good special attack. And a kinda lackluster physical attack at 75. But it has average speed at 85. Abilities of course Sand Veil and Hyper Cutter. Both can be useful in certain situations like a sand type team, or if your opponent has an Intimidate user. You do capture this Pokemon at level 43, so it's a bit of a mid-game possible capture. You probably have 4 Pokemon on your team, maybe looking for a 5th. Its starting moves whenever you catch it and start to purify it will be Faint Attack, Sand Attack, Poison Sting, and Slash. The only real good move here is Slash. It's 70 base power, normal type attack, so it doesn't get stabbed. But it does have a high crit chance in 1 in 8. It does have Sand Attack, which can be good utility. It has Poison Sting, which is 15 base power. And it goes against also Poison. And it has Faint Attack, which is a special move in this game, being Dark type. Keep in mind, Pokemon Colosseum is within Generation 3, so there is no physical special split. So that Faint Attack is going to be working off that terrible base 35 special attack. At the end of the game, you could see a good moveset though of Earthquake, Aerial Ace, Slash, and Screech. However, to get most of those moves though, especially your big damage dealing stab moves, you're going to have to use your TMs, Aerial Ace, and of course the powerful Earthquake TM used on a Pokemon with 75 attack. With that, it doesn't actually get any stab attacks by level up, so you're going to have to rely on your TMs or Slash and I guess poisoning through Poison Sting to get the job done. It's not a bad Pokemon. It does have 2 immunities in Electric and Ground, but maybe you would get it for finishing off the current area. It is level 43, so it's not that bad. It's a decent level. I just think based on its moves and what you have to do to get it to a good spot, you could do a lot better. And of course, this is Generation 3. It does not evolve into Gliscor, unfortunately. Number 4 on the list of versatile Pokemon Colosseum is of course the Darkness Pokemon Murkrow. Murkrow is Dark and Flying type. You also get this Pokemon at level 43, so again, it's one of those kind of mid-range Pokemon. But unlike Gligar, where it was more kind of tanky and can do decent damage, Murkrow is more speedy. It's 91 speed and has a lot more offensive capabilities with tied attack and special attack at 85 apiece. But its bulk is something to be very scary of. It has 60 on the HP and both of its defenses at only base 42. Keep in mind, Pokemon Colosseum and even XY God of Darkness is a game full of double battles, where you run the odds of even Murkrow being double attacked, or also known as being double targeted. Murkrow with that bulk is not really going to be able to sustain 2 attacks in 1 turn. So you'll maybe be able to get off an attack, like one of the starting moves here in Faint Attack, or Nightshade, or even Fly. But you're not going to be able to last very long in a double battle if you're getting attacked 2 times per turn. I will draw a mission of the Fly. If you outspeed and you get double targeted, then they miss both of their attacks, and that sets you up for 2, basically almost 2 whole free turns. Murkrow escapes and can do often decent damage with the 70 power Fly, and your opponent Pokemon can do something to that turn without taking any type of damage. Its ability is, of course, Insomnia, which can be pretty good. It prevents sleep, but sleep moves are kind of far and few in between. You got Spore, Hypnosis, Sleep Powder. Maybe run into an Effect Spore Pokemon, so it's not that bad. It also has 2 immunities to Psychic and Ground as well. Its best moveset going forward, though, throughout the end of the game, if you were to use it, would have to be like Feint Attack, Steel Wing, Fly, or Aerial Ace. Obviously, like I said, Fly has more power, and if you're faster, can dodge attacks. Aerial Ace, of course, over 2 turns will do more damage than 1 2-turn Fly. And the last move I would say would be Taunt. This is a very interesting move, of course, that prevents the opponent from using non-damage dealing attacks. I would say this could be helpful if you want it on your team for the very last fight in the game, right? Evice has the skill swap combo with his Slow King and his Slacking. You obviously outspeed the Slow King, so you can get off a taunt and prevent skill swap. And then with Protect TMs, you're able to hopefully stall out the Slacking. The only downside to Murkrow 2 is the fact that you also always start out with a Dark type at the very start of the game. That's Umbreon, which is kind of a mirror image of Murkrow. Besides the flying type being different, it's very bulky. It can do damage over time. It has recovery with Moonlight, whereas Murkrow does not have Roost in this game, but it's not Generation 4. And of course, like Gligar, Murkrow does not evolve into Honchkrow, and there's no Super Luck. So it's very lackluster for a double barrel game. It's not going to last very long. I don't recommend it. Number 3 on our list is Yanma, a bug and flying type. You get it at level 33, so it's more of an early game Pokemon, which kind of makes sense being this bug and flying type. Kind of this game's Butterfree or Beautifly. Its best stat is, of course, speed of 95, so you're outspeeding, there's that. But it's not that offensive, really. It's got the same top offensive as Gligar, being a 75, this time in its special attack. Its physical attack is 65, so it's not too far behind. It can work as a mixed attacker. But once again, for a game full of double battles, it's very frail. Base 65 hit points and base 45 on both of its defenses. I mean, it's just not going to be taking a whole lot of hits. Its abilities, though, are where it could shine. It has Speed Boost, which will increase its speed by 1 stage at the end of every turn. Give it 2 turns on the field, and you should be able to outspeed things. And Compound Eyes, of course, raises accuracy by 30%. So that Supersonic you see there, being 55%, does boost it to 71.5. But that's really about it, I believe. Its starting moveset is Detect, Supersonic, Sonic Boom, and Uproar. So even in its starting moveset, it's very lackluster. It has Detect, which in a game full of double battles is a great option. You could get double targeted. You use Detect, both of their moves fail, you get 1 free move for your other Pokemon. So you're sacrificing 1 move to cancel out 2 and to get 1 free one for yourself. It's not bad. Supersonic is only good if you can combine it with Compound Eyes. Sonic Boom is a normal type move that always does 20 damage, exactly. In a game with levels that are pretty decent, it's not going to be doing much damage. It's good for weakening Pokemon for capture, but if you can't stay on the field for very long, what's the point? And of course, Uproar, which is I think 50 base power in this game, and locks you in. It's also a normal type move, so it's just not that good. It prevents sleep, which is something you're going to want to do to opponent's Pokemon. So, Yanma just gets kind of hard-walled by ghost types at the very start, unfortunately. And it's very frail. It gets no bug stab, so you're only really using the bug typing for defensive purposes, like acquire resistance to fighting and being weak 4 times by rock. Its best moveset going forward at the end of the game would probably be like Wing Attack, Double Team, Giga Drain, and Psychic. But you're really going to have to sink those TMs into Yanma. Especially Giga Drain and Psychic. You know, Giga Drain is only 60 base power, 5 PP in this game. Psychic is 10 PP, and off that 75 special attack, you'll be lucky to 3-shot something. With a special defense drop, you might even two-shot something. And Giga Drain, 4 times effective on maybe a Golem or a Graveler, could prove good, but still though, Yanma, there are much better options. I would not recommend picking it up. And before we move on to number 2, keep in mind, this is Generation 3, Yanma cannot evolve. And speaking of not being able to evolve, number 2 on our list, the second worst Pokemon here in Pokémon Colosseum, Aipom. Aipom is a normal type Pokemon. You get it at level 43, so it's again kind of a middle of the game Pokemon. Its stats are very lackluster. It's got decent speed at 85, but its best offense is 70 attack, and its bulk is 55 across the board. However, there is one good factor about it though, and that's its typing. It only has one weakness, being fighting, and it also it does have one immunity, that being ghost type. Starting moveset, Baton Pass, Tickle, Fury Swipes, and Swift. Very just low power. Fury Swipes is unreliable. I think it has like 80 or 85 accuracy. Can hit 2 to 5 times. Swift is 60 base power. Hits both opponents, which means it does take a slight power cut when hitting both Pokemon. So it's like in the, 50 or 40 power range when it hits both Pokemon. It's just going to be doing chip damage. It's not that good. Its abilities also, Pick Up and Run Away. Not going to really be seeing much use out of those in a game full of intense battles. Run Away does absolutely nothing, as you see on screen. And Pick Up, you might get a Great Ball after a battle. That's a free $600 item, I guess. But besides that, they're not good for actual battles. Its best moveset by the end of the game could be Facade, Tickle, Brick Break, and Shadow Ball. These moves, though, would help it out in terms of its weaknesses, Facade, if it gets burned or poisoned, becomes a 140 base power normal type move, which means with Stab, it can have a 210 base power move. Tickle, of course, lowers the attack and defense of the opponent Pokemon that you hit with it, so that's good utility all the way around for Aipom's offenses and for both your team's defenses. It has Brick Break, which is a 70 base power fighting type attack that can hit rock types and steel types for super effective damage, or even ice types if you really want to be that guy. And it gets Shadow Ball, an 80 base power move that can lower, I believe, with special defense in Generation 3 still. Sometimes they kind of change it. I think Crunch was different. But the good thing about Shadow Ball, and again, you'd have to sink in 3 good TMs, that being Facade, Brick Break, and Shadow Ball itself, is the fact that, A, there's only one ghost Pokemon in Colosseum that you can capture. Sorry about that. And that's Misdreavus, which has like base 60 attack. So I think it gets Shadow Ball naturally too. So your Shadow Ball TM is free for coverage purposes. And with you only having that immunity to Ghost, you're able to come in and hit Ghost type super effective with Shadow Ball. However, like I said again though, it's very niche. You'd be lucky to survive 2 turns with it unless the AI just doesn't deem Aipom a threat. You can get off some Tickles and maybe get off some Shadow Balls or Facades. But besides that, though, I would not recommend it. It's a case of, once again, say it with me, unfortunately, it doesn't evolve. Aipom and its Technician ability in Generation 4 and onward is excellent. But unfortunately, Aipom is trash in this game. Slugma! You know the joke. And the number 1 worst shadow Pokemon you can get in Pokemon Colosseum is Delibird. I can already feel the Shady Penguin fans coming at me in the dang comment section. Delibird is an Ice and Flying type, and you get it at level 45. Basically, Delibird can be caught at the final area of the game. It is one of the final Pokemon, actually. If I can just check my list real quick. It is the third to final Pokemon you can get before the end-game final 6 battles. It is the third to last Pokemon, and they give you this Pokemon right here with a base stat total of 330. which is less than the middle form of the Johto Stars, which you get 20 minutes into the game. Or 30 minutes into the game. However long. It's the second Shadow Pokemon you get. Quilava has a base stat total of 405. Delibird over here has a base stat total of 330. It's got worse bulk than Apom, being 55 across the board. It has slightly worse bulk than Yanma. Delibird has 45 across the board. 75 speed, so it's like the slowest Pokemon on this list. And its offenses. Its best offense is 65 special attack. Delibird is trash. I mean, look at its typing, by the way. Ice and flying. It has 4 weaknesses. Steel, fire, and electric, and 4 times weakness to rock. Its abilities can kind of save it. It has hustle. Can trade accuracy for power, which means your fly will be less than 80% accuracy, but hit for like 30% more power. And vital spirit, you can't fall asleep. Which means you can't use rest. Which means you have no form of recovery. If you decide to go with no items for the playthrough. Its starting moveset is Blizzard, Attract, Present, and Fly. Present is fun gambling move. There's like a 10% chance you do 120 base power normal type move. You can also heal your opponent. You can also do minimal damage. You can do average damage like 40 power, 80 power, 120 power. And then heal the opponent by like 25% or something like that. Now, Fly obviously is a physical move, so you're working off that 55 attack. Like, the only saving grace for this Pokemon is Blizzard. 120 base power, hits both opponents. Of course, it's 70 accuracy. And in this game, I'm pretty positive, this is always a misconception. Generation 3 Hail does not boost the accuracy of Blizzard. So you're stuck with 70 accuracy Blizzard trying to hit 2 Pokemon with 65 special attack. It's just not that good. Its starting moves, if you really are going to be bold and brash, despite Delibird belonging in the damn trash, is Blizzard, Fly, Attract, and then either Ice Beam or Toxic. You give it Ice Beam for more consistent damage, or you give it Toxic and hope to stall the opponent out while you laugh your butt off. After all, you have Attract and Fly, that can help. You might as well give it Protect. I don't know what else to say. Congratulations, Delibird. You are the worst Pokemon you can get in Pokémon Colosseum. And like I said, you get in the real game towers, the final area in the main story. If you're still looking for a 6th Pokemon, when you're like 3 battles away from the finale, which is 6 battles, that being the 4 trainers at the end, and then Nascout and Evice, then you might just want to go in with 5 Pokemon. Because Delibird's not going to help you at all. Keep in mind, you have to still purify it. You're going to be going in there with Shadow Rush, Delibird? Hustle, Shadow Rush? Can you miss with that? I think Shadow Moves have perfect accuracy, but still. Delibird, I'm sorry. You suck. Your ice is a joke. And with that being said, that was the top 5 Pokemon, or the top 5 worst Pokemon you can capture. Top 5 worst Shadow Pokemon you can capture in Pokemon Colosseum. If you guys have different opinions, let me know in the comment section down below. And thank you guys very much for watching. And I will see you guys next time. And of course, always, always, always remember to avoid the double team.